Okay, so it's like 1:45 in the morning here for, what is it, April 1st? Do you see what's going on here? This is almost ready. As a matter of fact, it might even be. I'm just going to move it around, break it up, put it on a little lower for the night, and then that batch will be done, and I'll do another batch tomorrow. And that'll be 2 bags of carrots at least. And then what I'll do is I'll mix some of these fresher carrots in with some of my older carrots. Right? Look at that. That's so good. I broke them up into 2 separate jars. You push it down and you put it in the fridge and it's good to go. Now I think I'm going to do one more batch because I have 2 more heads of cabbage. So I'm going to do one more batch about the same size, but next time I'm going to break them up into 4 different jars, right? Oh yeah, and if it's nice outside tomorrow, in terms of not pouring rain, I'm going to be outside. Okay, so today is April 1st. I guess the joke's on me, right, people? Now they're kidnapping corpses. Okay, medical kidnapping of Uncle John. You can say Andre was kidnapped. Just up and disappeared, right? ShaMay's body was kidnapped. That was a corpse. And most definitely they kidnapped Ciera's body. And through their definition of being dead, that would have made her a corpse. Okay? So anyway, here's the old shredded carrots that work perfectly fine. Right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the new ones, and I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to put them in here, see how full it is, and then I'm going to mix the 2 together. And it just freshens up these ones, but these ones are fine. And then I'm going to just try and get into more shredded carrot soup, right? Because if you look at these ones, they're nice and orange. That's because they're fresh, right? But that's not to say that those ones don't work either, because I've used them, right? As long as you don't have moths, you're fine. So hold on a minute. So basically what's happening here is I'm being gang-stalked severely. You can see that, right? At some point, it's only 10 o'clock in the morning. It's not raining today, so I'm going to have to go outside, people. I have to, because the city's not going to care, because the city is involved. Because when you go out in the streets and you look at the way they treat the homeless people right along with their partners in crime when it comes to cops. Hold on a minute. Hello? Hold on a minute. Okay, as I was saying, I have to work outside today, right? Probably tomorrow too. So it's not like I have a lot of time to... Okay? Now I did pass that information in terms of everything that I've pretty much been doing for the last little while in regards to Uncle John and ShaMay to some lawyer that's going to look at it. Now, whether that lawyer helps me or not remains to be seen. Okay, so, you know, I don't want to jump on no bandwagon and start beating up fucking lawyers here. Okay? I have to protect my family and go out and work in the yard, right? To appease people like the fucking coroner and the police, right? Because that's pretty much what it's all about, right? They treat me like I'm a homeless person. No better, no different, right? You know, keep me outside, right? So anyway, in regards to Ciera's body here, you know, you have to stop and think about it. They set the stage almost equal to what happened with Julian and ShaMay, right? Julian made sure he got the attention that he wanted, people, okay? You know, he set the... He killed ShaMay, he moved her body, he did whatever, he placed her where he wanted her, you know, he did what, okay, and then he went off and he got Tisha, knowing that I was upstairs, then he stood back, and then he watched, and then he put on his little scene when the right people came in terms of the cops and the paramedic. That's when he started acting out, and then he played the card with, oh, I'm the common law husband, you know, I have, you know, what is that, what is it called, you know, I make the decisions. You can talk to me, okay? Because this is what they're trying to do with Ciera's body. They're trying to say that this John dude, who I'm telling you people, I've only met once in my fucking garage prior to him coming a few days ago with Ciera, okay? Maybe one other time in a fleeting moment, but no more than 2 times, okay? This guy is a fucking nobody. The only reason she went to his house, people, is because she had no place to go. And the only people that have that to blame for are the police, the fucking coroner, the public union sector in general, all those great grand hospital staff that, you know, I'm sure, like I said, there's, what is it called? Pharmacare fraud in there, right? You know, I'm telling you, Ciera's fucking file is going to be 2 boxes full, people. 2 boxes full, okay? That's her medical file. That's not including her freaking police record. That's not including anything that's in with fucking corrections. And then he just sat there and watched. And somebody pointed out to me that, you know, for all this blood coming out of Ciera's nose, there was no blood on him when we showed up, people. His clothes were clean. There was nothing on him. He was calm. He was collective. He even got cocky with my son. And what he fucking told me is not what he told the cops. But from my understanding, what he told Tisha when Tisha first showed up is that he found her in the bathroom. But when you listen to the recording when I was in there, he never mentioned that, not even once to me. And he never mentioned it to me on the phone. But what did Julian say? Oh, well, you know, I found her sitting up and I noticed that she had peed. So therefore, I laid her down. She wasn't responding and I went and got help. And then I just stood back and I watched the shit show. What did this guy do? Oh, well, I was checking on her. You know, she seemed to be fine. And then all of a sudden, one part of her body was cold. The other part was warm. And I panicked. So I tried to do CPR on her. And then I rolled her over and I checked and I seen the blood pooling where, you know, right? Then I called the ambulance. And then I called you to watch the shit show. Why did he call me, people, if they don't fucking need me? Because as far as the cops are concerned and the coroner is concerned, they're the ones who freaking identified Ciera. And if it wasn't them, it was John. Some random fucking dude that my government put my daughter's hands into because they failed my daughter for years and years and years. And now they want me to go pick up a body that I wasn't allowed to identify because John identified Ciera. And then when that didn't wash, oh, well, the cops did it. Ciera was not in custody and she had no, breach of, you know, she had no breaches. So the cops had absolutely no right to fucking identify Ciera. They're not family. They're just fucking cops. And some of these cops are real fucking dirty out here, people. What, the coroner? The coroner identified Ciera? Ciera had no ID. Ciera hasn't had ID for years. This coroner didn't know Ciera from Adam. So what gives them the right to identify Ciera laying by a doorframe naked with a big nooger on her head, blood coming out, and that's what they tell us, people. You remember, we didn't get to see. For all we know, her hands could have been chopped off. For all we know, she could have been gutted open. I know it sounds gross, but for all we know, because we didn't see it. Oh, what, go for freedom of information and get the pictures? Yeah, well, you know, those pictures could have been pictures that were taken before they fucking cut her up. Assuming that's what they did. But they sure in the hell ran out of there real freaking fast with their checkered cars, with that coroner's car which actually puts dead bodies in, bolting up out of the fucking driveway after that person kicked me out over what? Well, tell me her medical issues. Well, I don't know. What's this? Is that right? Big bump on the head? That's a medical issue? Oh, but she was a drug addict and she fell and bumped her own head. This John dude never mentioned a bump on the fucking head. He said he was testing to see if she was warm or had a fever. Like, what the fuck? This is another Julian, people. They let the men kill the women out here. This is what they do. This is 2 times in a row. It's not coincidence. They let the men kill the women out here. They let the men fucking molest dead bodies out here and do what they want, basically. And then they let the men stand and watch the carnage after the fact, because that's what serial killers and those type of people like to do. They like to watch. They like to take mementos, right? They, pictures and, little locks of hair. And, they like to see the reaction of the families that they hurt. They like to be and import themselves right in on the scene, and so that, and they're helpful, because that's just what they get off on. That's how they get their sex. If you notice, he wasn't interested in Ciera sexually. Well, where was his interest, people? Was he really interested in helping Ciera? Considering all things said, right? He wasn't interested in helping Ciera. He got fucking bought off. That's what happened. And because I'm getting real close to filing this lawsuit, the cops are fucking with my head, right? And so is the coroner's office, okay? Because the 2 stories are too similar, right? Both men murder. Well, I can't say for John for sure, but it's really leaning in that direction, people. Both men fucking manhandle and molest and move the body into whatever position they want. Both men get time to clean up themselves or whatever it is that they clean up in terms of evidence. Both men get to stand back and watch and see how the family reacts, right? And sit there and be cocky, knowing that they're not going to get caught, right? Both men get to be a part of the rescue team in terms of, let me help, right? Both men got to do that. Julian was the epitome what was right, He was working, and he was the common law husband, and he really, really loved ShaMay. Well, I don't know what this fucking dude was doing, because he sure enough fuck didn't love ShaMay, and neither did Julian. But both men got the same treatment from these dirty-ass fucking cops and coroner's office, as they're now telling me to pick up a dead body that they refused to allow me to identify. I'm not picking up no dead body that I haven't seen, people. So what they're going to do is they're going to undermine me, right? And they're going to cremate her, dub her as being abandoned, okay, because I didn't pick up the body, because they won't let me see it. I'd be very surprised if they let me drive all the way out to Abbotsford, which is what, a 2-hour drive or an hour-and-a-half drive or a 3-hour drive. I don't know how far Abbotsford is, but it's quite far, right? Unless they let me go see Ciera, front and back, naked, before she's shipped off anywhere. I'm not picking up a dead body that I was denied access to, even though I was called into the environment for that particular shit show. Okay, so I did do 2 more batches of yogurt. I used this recipe. I had a little left over. I don't know, maybe I'm measuring wrong. I'm all stressed out. I just put it in here just to see what would happen. It wasn't very much. Now, maybe the yogurt is getting a little too old. I don't know. I won't know until 10 hours plus sitting in the fridge for a bit. But at the end of the day, people, I'm not worried about it, because if it doesn't work, I can always pour it back into a jug and then make rice pudding with it and then freeze it, right? Here, I took some of those ones, fresh carrots, and I put them in here. And then I took some of these ones and I mixed them up. So I have a little bit of the older ones, right? And then those ones 2 mixed up. And I'm going to shred at some point after these are done another bag of carrots and continue doing this, right? And then I'll just make sure that this stays out, and I'll try and get in more into making regular, what is it called? Carrot cream soup. My head. I'm tired, people. I'm too stressed out. So I'm having my last coffee. I'm going to dress somewhat warm because I'm cold and I'm being forced to work outside, right? Based on a complaint that I've got cars in my yard that are just sitting there, even though I showed you, what, 2-3 videos ago that those guys next door got 2 cars sitting in their yard with no license plates, right? I don't know if that garbage still back there. I don't know. I haven't been out there, but I'll let you know today, right? That is the priority, because if I lose my house, people, which kind of like it's been happening ever since Uncle John went medically kidnapped. Well, even before then, right? It's been chipping away at it for a long time. You know, I have to go down swinging. If I'm going to lose my house, people, because of city bylaw officers, because of corrupt coroners, because of corrupt fucking body snatching. Oh, I wanted to say pigs. Fuck. I so wanted to say body snatching pigs. I wasn't raised to be this way, people. I wasn't raised to be this way. I understand why people call them that now, though. Honest to God. But if I'm going to lose my house because of these types of people, and they're not even real people, they're fucking genetically modified, spliced and diced, freaking, I don't know what they are, people, because people don't act like this towards each other. They don't, like, it's like a fucking junkie. They were getting all excited to get that body out of there. Okay. You seen it. You seen that car bolt. Only one reason it was bolting out of there. Only one reason it was made to look like nobody noticed. Only one reason they called in a 6'7" fucking cop to stand there and make it so that nobody could see what was going on, because they would have had to take her that way out. Only one reason they called in backup. Only one reason that they argue with every single thing that I fucking say. Oh, well, John identified her. Well, John's not good enough. Oh, well, the police did it. Well, Ciera wasn't under arrest. They had no authority to identify her. Oh, well, the coroner did it. Well, yeah, but the coroner didn't have Ciera's ID. Never met fucking Ciera. So who the fuck is the coroner to identify Ciera? Oh, well, it doesn't really matter, because you're obligated by law to go pick up your daughter. Anyway, I can't go around in circles on this, so I am going to, maybe what I should do is upload this first. Keep it short, right? And then change, have my coffee, change, put on my hat, dress warm, get outside, go down swinging, people. That's what you do. You just go down swinging. And when they fucking start beating you, you know what you do? You know what you do when they start literally fucking beating you? You just go limp. And you take it until you die. And then poof, you will be gone. And nothing else will move. Except for maybe for the people who are pissed off. That will really shake up the fucking shit, won't it?